Head on and connect with Hemang Jani then. Hemang, good to have you on board. SBI coming out with its numbers today. What are you working with?
SBI numbers are going to be quite okay, and we will see a muted growth when it comes to NII and a slight bit of pressure in terms of the margins, about 10 basis points. But I think what the market be very positive on is the loan growth, which will be about 14%. So overall, having seen a correction of almost about 8 to 10% from the top, if the results are in line or slightly better than consensus expectations, we do think that there will be a positive reaction to the stock, and we have a overall positive view on the PSU banks, particularly State Bank of India, from a 12-month perspective.
Take on the defense sector. At one point, we couldn't stop singing praises. But the latest reports indicate that there is more legs to the upcycle. The government has walked the talk when it comes to policies, and that there's a strong opportunity over the next few years. Is it time to take positions afresh within defense? And if so, where?
Opportunity there over the next 3 to 5 years is going to be massive. And we think that though the theme has played out so well in the last, let's say, about 2 years, you will see some positive surprises as we see more, orders being awarded, and more importantly, if the companies are able to do a strategic tie-ups globally, that bring in an element of more excitement and PE re-rating. So I think Bharat Electronics and HAL, these are the two names that I think we should have as a part of the core portfolio. And these companies can give a 16 to 20% kind of a CAGR over the next 2 to 3 years.
The full page ad in all leading publications today, DLF is saying thank you, we've sold another project. I look at the dispatch, I look at the booking data which has come from Godrej, Prestige. Just about every big real estate builder is talking about strong demand, new launches. Do you think there's still money to be made in real estate stocks from you?
I think looking at the momentum in terms of the new launches and the response that they're getting, I think this momentum will continue for another maybe 1 year or so. And we do think that despite the kind of run-up that we've had for names like Godrej Property or DLF, Oberoi, Brigade, so on and so forth, I think there is some more room on the upside. And this is a high beta sector, remember. So if the momentum is strong, you will see a much higher momentum on the stock price. So Godrej Property, DLF, Prestige, these are the names where we are still comfortable. You might see a little bit of volatility because of the high beta nature of the business, but purely from a numbers fundamental perspective, we see a room for upside.
Let's look at the GIFT Nifty, 13 points higher, which means that we are in for a flat start, and if volatility comes down, if VIX comes down, could today be that day where you actually could see market going against what has been the last pattern of last couple of days. See, historically, when foreign institutional investors have sold and you've been buying this market, you've always been rewarded. That's the long-term history. We'll try and put out some data that whenever there have been patches of large bout of FIIs selling, if you've been buyer in the market, you've always been handsomely rewarded, because FIIs, when they sell in bulk. They break the price and they sell, because these are funds where when they change allocation, the allocation runs into a couple of $1 million. So at global level, if allocation indeed is changing, or this is like a, raise the cash, move to China kind of a short-term phenomenon, then trust me, in hindsight, this will turn out to be a great time when you should have participated. We've seen that even in last couple of years, when there have been patches of big selling by FIIs, you actually have been rewarded. Hemang, the big one the big one today is SBI, later this week is Tata Motors. Are you expecting anything special?
In case of Tata Motor, the overall earning momentum is very strong, and we do think that given the recent data points on JLR globally, the company should deliver very strong growth with about 40-50 basis points increase in the margin. So Tata Motor, we continue to have a positive view. SBI, the consensus is slightly muted. There is going to be a 20% drop in the PAT and 10% drop in the NIMs. But the stock has corrected almost about 10% from the top. So depending upon the extent of the variation versus consensus, we should form a strategy on SBI. Overall, we are quite positive on both the names.
Okay,
In just one of those bottom of the barrel pharma stocks, a lot of debt, they're trying to reboot it. Could this be the comeback story of 2024? That's how you look at it. Vedanta has been a comeback story. Last year, Tata Motors was a comeback story. Would Biocon be the one from the pharma space?
More than the pure operating numbers, or what kind of incremental product launches that the company does, I think what it is waiting out to see is whether there is going to be any kind of a M&A or a buyout kind of a development for Biocon. Now, we've been hearing about it for a while, but I think that, to my mind, be a much bigger trigger for the stock, because I don't think purely on the numbers or the kind of business that the company is doing, there is going to be a significant re-rating at this point of time.
okay, there you have it. Thanks so much, Hemang, for joining in and sharing with us those details. Let's move right on and here are some.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.